Technology has improved the lives of people, not only in Africa, but across the globe. But beyond that, how can we use technology to aid Africa's growing economy? We'll have a former scientist share his thoughts in the interview segment. Remember back in the days, you need to set up properly to be able to scan documents, but all that has changed today. So our mobile app of the week allows you to scan your documents on the go. My name is Chukwemeka Agbata, and this is Tech Trends.
Madagascar is the latest African country beneficiary from the SANCOR program, a digital learning solution using interactive whiteboards. Powered by a small solar-charged battery, the whiteboard was created for classrooms with poor infrastructure. Computer images are displayed onto a board using a digital projector. The instructor then manipulates the elements on the board by using his fingers as a mouse directly on the screen. Here at the Sarafa School in the capital, Antananarivo, one of the schools that was chosen to be part of the pilot project, students have been introduced to the first lessons using an interactive whiteboard. The program aims to introduce digital technology in primary and secondary schools around the world, as well as modernizing teaching methods and giving teachers tangible tools to teach science and technology. At Sarafa, teachers say the project's rollout has been slow, and that has affected learning for many of the students. But many hope that this new innovation will go towards bridging the gap between quality education and access to teaching material. Ever since Meerkat stole the show at its launch of the South by Southwest Festival in March, live streaming apps have gotten plenty of attention in 2015, followed by the meteoric rise of Periscope, its Twitter-owned rival that launched shortly after. The apps allow for real-time video broadcasts from mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets, allowing users to stream it to the Twitter followers and anybody who tunes in by catching headlines and hashtags. Sean Van Every, professor at New York University's Interactive Telecommunications Program, says that people are drawn to the app's ability to watch something as it happens.
I think there's something special about live. I think that there's something special about watching something live as well, right? The act of witnessing, right? The act of seeing something as it unfolds, where anything could happen, I think really keeps people's attention.
Live streaming is hardly a new idea, and many startups have tried and failed to make it mainstream. Both apps seem to have grabbed the masses' attention, although the broadcasts are mostly limited to mundane things, such as people walking in the neighborhoods, showing off the content of the refrigerators and driving inside their cars.
Right now, there's a lot of very narcissistic behavior, right? A lot of people sort of, broadcasting from just their daily lives or talking to their audience in much the same way people do video blogs and things like that. I think that where we'll really see it excel is in sort of live events, where a lot of people want to watch that simultaneously and want to witness it unfolding.
Brooklyn-based digital strategist Azim Khan has been testing the apps for optimal viewership. It was broadcasting a rally from the New York's Union Square, where fast food restaurant workers were calling for higher wages. Its broadcast drew around 15 people for the first minute, after which most people left the stream.
I think that medium length, 2 to 3 minutes, has seemed to be the best. And you start seeing after that, unless it's something that's really interesting, that it starts tapering off. And the first minute is really when people start tuning in. And so if you can keep their attention, they'll stay. But a lot of the times they stay for a really short period of time and then just leave the stream.
Khan said that he sees many possibilities for live streaming apps in the future, including for journalistic purposes and direct sales. But many also fear that it will encourage video piracy. Van Every said that this new form of video piracy is likely hard to control and thinks that broadcasters need to adapt.
if I were an executive at a broadcast company, I would think about, let's make it as easy as possible for people to see our media, broadcast it, and still monetize it, instead of allowing it, instead of just, instead of trying to control that and thereby pushing people to pirate it.
He added that the live streaming apps are here to stay.
It's going to be used in negative ways, it's going to be used in positive ways, but I think the genie's out of the bottle. I'm not sure that we can put it back.
Meerkat is available for the iOS and Android, while Periscope is only available on Apple devices. However, Meerkat videos cannot be rewatched later, while Periscope allows users to save and replay videos later for up to 24 hours. Nearly 200 scientists submitted an appeal to the United Nations requesting aid to adopt guidelines to protect against electromagnetic radiation that emits from cell phones, laptops, tablets, and other wireless devices.
They are damaging the living cells in our bodies and killing many of us prematurely. Before Edison's light bulb, there was very little electromagnetic radiation in our environment. Cell towers are blanketing our neighborhoods with radiation. It's particularly frightening that radiation from our telecommunication and power line technology is damaging the DNA in our cells. It is clear to many biologists that this can account for the rising cancer rates.
Scientists say the constant electromagnetic radiation from communication towers could lead to cancer and also cause neurological, cardiac, and respiratory disorders.
As cell biologists, we can understand what the cells are saying, and it's quite clear. But when you have physicists and engineers and politicians and industrial people who are sitting and making these decisions as to what is safe, we're getting into a situation where there's more and more of this radiation in our environment with no apparent control. And the levels are so high that we're getting the biological reactions and the problems, the medical problems, like cancers, for example, that are beginning to afflict people in larger numbers.
Blank said that the increase in obesity, autism, and stillbirths may be associated with electromagnetic radiation in the environment. A suggestion for curbing wireless usage was to turn off cell phones and wireless devices when not in use. New York City visitors did not agree.
We will be lost if we don't have a cell phone.
It has become a part of our life that we can't even afford to leave that. I think if I will ask you your cell phone, give me your cell phone for 1 hour, I think you'll die without it.
The International EMF Scientists' Appeal asked the UN, its member states, and the World Health Organization to provide leadership in limiting electromagnetic radiation exposure and to educate the public about its health risks.